D2 Word Life here with Riptidz.
The one and only Fortnite heavyweight title champion. And the loser.
Boo! Boo! We ain't playing Fortnite right now. We're doing this review of SummerSlam. 2005. Brother. God damn it, brother. Yeah. Anyway, this...
If you guys don't understand why, or if you guys understand why, you'll find out later in the video.
Anyway, this event took place on August 21st, 2005 in Washington, D.C. at the MCI Center with an attendance of 18,176. And of course, this was a by-branded freaking pay-per-view at the time, meaning Raw and SmackDown were represented here. Because this time period, the brand split was still, an actual thing. Right. And shout out to the Sunday Night Heat match that took place before the event, which was Chris Masters defeating the Hurricane, but in a short singles match.
Yeah, you hit him with the Master Lock, that was it.
Yeah, pretty much.
Just like a certain first match that there was.
Yeah. It's like, anyway, the show started out with Lillian Garcia singing the U.S. National Anthem.
With the Navy guards there with bringing in the flag.
Yeah. And then they did the opening high package, focusing on the main event matches and, of course, the Hogan-Michaels main event.
You mean Sean Octopus and Hulk Hogan?
Yes.
Or Sean Fish?
Yeah, and I believe... Yep, and of course Sean Fish. And of course Jim Ross, Jerry Lawler, and Jonathan Coachman were the commentators for Raw, while Michael Cole and Taz were the commentators for SmackDown.
Yep.
And of course the Spanish announcers were Hugo and Carlos, like usual. I feel like I should include them now.
They're always there.
Well, not always there.
They are always there. Even when they're not there, they're there.
Yep.
Their souls have been implanted in the WWE for so long that you just see them planted there.
Yeah, you're right. But anyway, the first match of the night opening contest was Orlando Jordan defending the United States Championship against Chris Benoit. And the story going into this, Benoit was furious, wanting a rematch with Jordan after Jordan cheated to retain the title against him at the Great American Bash pay-per-view prior to this.
Yep.
And we can recite this whole
Jordan
match.
also saying no one can beat him.
Yeah, and Jordan can also embrace yourself. This is going to be a long one. We're going to recite this whole match.
Jordan gets in the ring.
Benoit dove at Jordan.
Benoit comes in.
And then Benoit drove Jordan into the turnbuckle. And then freaking Jordan got a cheap punch on Benoit. And then Benoit came back with a German suplex. And then shortly afterwards...
And the crippler crossface.
And shortly afterwards, freaking Benoit put Jordan in the crippler crossface, which prompted Jordan to tap out in about 25 seconds.
It felt like 15.
And Benoit... So therefore, Benoit won the United States Championship in this short opener. What? Squash. Your thoughts on this one?
Too quick. Not enough violence.
Yeah, I feel like, I know WWE at the time were going for shock value, and I know Orlando Jordan wasn't really a big household name here, main event name guy, but they could have given him like at least 10 minutes to work with. Instead of just squashing him to Benoit here to start off this show.
Yep, no.
So, yeah, my thoughts on this match.
They said, fuck Orlando Jordan.
My thoughts on this match. What match? It was a squash. You really can't. That's pretty much it. That's my thoughts.
It was a 15-second match.
Yeah, 15 seconds, 25 seconds. It doesn't matter. It was freaking short.
Like something else you have.
You must be talking about you, because you're about to have a short title reign, losing it on your first defense this week.
No, you have a short attention span.
What was that? I wasn't paying attention to shit.
Exactly.
See, after the match, Benoit celebrated with the championship and pretty much, gave him a standing ovation for that short-ass match. Which I'm just like, why? The fans in the long run just feel like they got ripped off. But okay.
It was still a good match.
That wasn't even a match. That was a squash right away. You know it.
Well, let's just continue on through the thing. We'll give our thoughts at the end of the review.
Yes. Of course, backstage, we go backstage where Eddie Guerrero was showing in his locker room with his wife Vic when his wife Vicky showed up to talk to him. Right?
Yeah. She was saying, "Oh, you're not doing this for Dominic. You're doing this just so you can show that you can beat Ray."
Yeah, that's pretty much the gist it was, and then Eddie at some point snapped and said, "Oh yeah," and then Vicky said that Eddie had a heart of gold, and that, but this person won't let him beat Rey Mysterio. Then Eddie got mad, saying, "Oh, so you think I can't beat Rey Mysterio either? Get out!" And that was pretty much the end of that.
Yeah.
And then Eddie Guerrero at the end just talked to himself about how he's gonna beat Rey Mysterio, and that he can beat Rey Mysterio. Just like I know for a fact I can beat you. Okay, is this review just gonna be us burning each other back and forth, hyping our freaking goddamn live stream this fucking Friday? At time of recording? Brother. Yeah, and then freaking they were talking about... Yeah, and then we cut back to the arena where they were showing some fans in the crowd, showing some love for the Army veterans that were in the hospital at that point. Talking about that.
Yeah.
Right. And then we officially go to our next match, which was Matt Hardy versus Edge, and yeah, they showed a video package for that, and at this time...
That wasn't even a fucking match either.
Yeah, well, we'll get to that. We'll get to it. They showed a video package about all the drama between Edge, Matt Hardy, and Lita at the time. Lita just recently cheated on Matt with Edge, leading to... Everyone knows the contrary with Matt Hardy getting released, exposing freaking Lita and Edge, who called them by their real names, by the way.
Yeah, something Dumas and Adam Copeland.
Which, nowadays, I mean, everyone's used to calling Edge Adam Copeland. Look at his run in AEW where he wrestles under his real name.
Well, it doesn't matter. He will always still be Edge to me. It doesn't fucking matter if he goes by his real name or not.
Yeah, and then Lita went on bait this and said she fell in love with somebody else, which, to me, still doesn't justify cheating, just for the record. If that's the case, just break up with the person you were with first.
Yeah.
I just think she handled that thing completely, the wrong way.
Well, she handled it the wrong way because everyone was giving her backlash about it, too. Jeff was doing it. Matt was trying to get a hold of her. To fucking find out what's going on.
Yeah. And they had and then Edge returned, got signed back to WWE, was attacking Edge in the lead up to this match. With Edge then later stating that he was the one who convinced Vince McMahon to sign Matt Hardy back just for this fight at SummerSlam.
Well, the thing was about that is that Matt was already not signed with WWE again.
Yeah.
And then he came and was attacking Edge and Lita for months and months, and then which prompted Mr. McMahon to initiate negotiations between himself and Matt to come back for
this rivalry,
for his run to fight Edge without having to deal with anything else.
And of course, in storyline, and yeah, that's what happened in reality. In storyline, Edge pretty much said that he was the one who asked McMahon to sign Matt back, just so he can beat the shit out of Matt Hardy legally, because if he did that on the street, he'd be in jail.
Yeah.
That's what Edge said in the promo and the build-up for this, so. But yeah, everyone knows about the whole Edge Matt Hardy lead-up situation.
Amy DeMoss is what her name was.
Yes. Anyway, freaking Edge with Lita made his entrance first, followed by Matt Hardy coming out to the ring.
Which they never even reached the ring.
Because when Matt Hardy
fucking ran up and decided to attack Matt Hardy was doing the same thing.
It's like, yeah. Before Matt could even get to the ring, Edge went out there, started the brawl, and those two were just punching each other back and forth on the entrance ramp.
Yep.
And then when they finally got into the ring, the bell rang, which meant the match was underway, and then Matt took Edge down with a choke, but Edge got to the ropes to break that hold up. Oh yeah, and let's freaking talk about the crowd here. They were all over this match chanting Lita got herpes and other derogatory statements. And all I could think about was like, wow, he's gonna bring up a hoe joke.
Hey, Dustin. What does Hacksaw Jim Duggan say?
God damn it. But anyway, Hardy got the advantage over Edge, working over him with punches, but Edge then came back with a headbutt to the face of Matt Hardy. And it was at this point I noticed the fans were also chanting, she's a crack whore.
You got that too?
And I'm like, son of a bitch. These fans are relentless.
Yes.
Right? And of course, the announcers, commentators did not acknowledge what the crowd was chanting at all over air, obviously.
Well, yeah.
Pretty sure a little certain someone in the back freaking told him, instructed him, he's like, if you mention what this crowd is chanting, you're fired. You can't say that on TV. Right? It's like Hardy, and then Hardy was on the apron, and then Edge charged at him and hit a spear through the ropes and took both men down, kind of like what he would do to Mick Foley the following year at WrestleMania. Spear through the ropes. Except Matt Hardy didn't have a table to land on. It was just straight up floor. Right?
It was just straight up fucking the damn carpet that they have there.
The ring mats, or floor, or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, the ring mats, which prompted Edge to throw Matt into the freaking turnbuckles.
Yep.
Or the fucking ring post and busted his ass open.
He's like, yeah, but after that spot, yeah, Marty was busted open. Hella bad, bleeding profusely. Then Edge took advantage by freaking giving Matt more punches while freaking targeting freaking Matt's bloody head at the same time. Bloody forehead.
Which prompted the ref to stop it because
at this point
not respond.
It's like at this point, Edge continuously punched Matt Hardy down, and then freaking Edge worked over Hardy with knees to the head, or kicks to the head. We couldn't even tell the difference if Hardy was selling or if he was actually knocked out, but either way, referee called the match off and awarded Edge the winner by TKO.
Yep.
Because in the ref's mind, Matt Hardy could not continue anymore.
He couldn't respond.
Yeah, so and then afterwards, Edge had to be carried out to the back. Or Matt Hardy had to be carried out to the back, out of the ring to the back. Now, your thoughts on this? I guess what do you want to call it? I guess you want to call it a brawl. What's your thoughts on this brawl between these two men?
It was supposed to be a match. I would have rather it have been a match where they would have beat the shit out of each other like they did later on.
Of course, those two would go on to have a steel cage match against each other at the 2005 Unforgiven a month after this.
It is.
Which was a lot better than this match that they had here at SummerSlam.
Yes, they actually had a fucking match.
Yes. And you know, with the power of hindsight, this was 2005. Both of them were younger, immature, you know, that type of stuff. But, you know, now that they got older, they just, according to what I read, Matt Hardy and Adam Copeland, Edge, whatever you all put the past behind them. Obviously, right?
Oh, they had already put all that shit behind them a long time ago.
Yeah, they put that. Yeah, they put it behind them now. I mean, look at them now. Look at them now. They both are married to two different people. Lita's not even involved, or Amy DeMoss or Lita's not even involved with any of them anymore.
Yeah.
As we all know, I think Matt Hardy is married to Velvet Sky in real life, and Edge is married to Beth, or yeah, whatever. And then Edge is married to Beth Phoenix in real life, so it seems like everything worked out anyway. And
he's married to Rebel Sky.
Yeah. And
Edge is married to Beth Phoenix, the Glamazon.
Yeah, and both of them have their own families, their own kids nowadays. And Lita's or Amy DeMoss off doing her own thing in life, so yeah, obviously none of this back then is irrelevant now. That's pretty much what I'm saying. It's relevant now, you know what I mean?
Yep.
But back then it felt really real. But you know, everything worked out in the long run, I guess.
Yeah.
My thoughts on this brawl? Like I say, it felt like I was freaking watching a boxing match or an MMA fight. That's what I felt like I was watching.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, this match, if you want to call it that, wasn't the best Edge and Matt Hardy match that they had against each other. Obviously, that would come later on, but this was a starting point to pretty much continue that story.
Yep.
From how I feel. And then up next, they showed the video package about the whole custody of Dominic ladder match between Eddie Guerrero and Rey Mysterio, with the stipulation being if Guerrero beat Mysterio, or if Mysterio beat Guerrero at the Bash of the Beat, or the Great American Bash the month prior, Eddie would not reveal that secret. Then Eddie was like, I lied. And then said that he was Dirty Dom's father.
Yes.
And that Rey Mysterio was not.
Yes.
And then Eddie Guerrero docked some custody papers, and then freaking later on the storyline, Rey Mysterio challenged him to a ladder match for the custody of Dominic here. Like any freaking child agency would allow this, or CPS AG would allow this to ever happen in real life. You know what I'm saying? It don't make sense. But okay, we'll roll with it. But we'll roll with it, okay?
Well, the thing was is that leading up to this match was Mysterio was saying, "Oh, we'll do this one more time, unless you want Dominic to think that you're chicken shit." And he's like, "I'm not chicken shit." Then we'll we'll put the contract up for Dominic.
Yep.
Survivor SummerSlam.
Yep.
And just to finish it.
So yeah, next, I'm gonna be talking about that ladder match for the custody of Dirty Dom. Who will get Dirty Dom here? Latino Heat or the Deadbeat?
Fuck you!
I'm just taking the piss out of that storyline going on now.
Fuck you saying that Rey Mysterio's a deadbeat. He's not. He did everything for that ungrateful little prick.
Hey, you gotta admit, I only came up with that because it fucking rhymes, okay? That was that's hilarious. So you had two people fighting over the baddest motherfucker on the planet right now.
Mike Tyson?
No, Dirty Dom, goddammit.
He ain't the baddest man.
Okay, fine.
He's the stupidest.
Okay, fine. I realized that freaking at the time of this pay-per-view event, freaking Dominic was like 8 years old. But with the power of hindsight, they're pretty much fighting over the most hated person in WWE right now.
Yes.
If you really want to put it that way.
Yes.
And yeah, Guerrero made his freaking entrance first, obviously as the big heel character that I believe he played to perfection at this time.
Well, he was never really a face. He was really a heel every time, so.
Yeah, and then Rey Mysterio came out, and Rey Mysterio actually freaking, like, embraced his son at ringside before the match, which then Eddie Guerrero probably tried to do, but Dominic wanted nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
So anyway, let's talk about this match. It's like, yeah, and of course the Eddie sucks chants were all over the place at the start of the match, obviously.
Well, Eddie Guerrero sucked up to the social worker by shaking her hand.
It's like, yep.
All because Dominic gave Rey Mysterio a kiss.
Exactly. And just think, nearly 20 years later, Dominic would give his father Ray a punch to the face instead.
Yep.
But anyway, oh God. But anyway, let's talk about this ladder match. It's like, yeah, shortly after the match began, Guerrero sent Mysterio to the top turnbuckle, followed by a belly-to-back suplex. And then Mysterio then hit Guerrero with a monkey flip that sent Guerrero to the outside of the ring. Right? To start off.
Yeah.
And Guerrero whipped Mysterio's shoulder first into the steel steps. That looked brutal. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then also on the outside, Mysterio then picked Guerrero picked Mysterio up and then whipped him into the ladder outside the ring, knocking him down with it.
See.
Yeah, and throughout some of this match, there was a close-up of the most hated person in WWE, Dominic. Or should we say back then, the future most hated person in WWE?
It would be the future most.
Yes. Yeah, and then back in the ring, Guerrero set the ladder up. Then Guerrero went to climb it, but freaking Mysterio hit a missile drop kick to the ladder to knock Eddie Guerrero down. Off the ladder, right? So this match continued. Eddie wasn't going to get an easy victory that way.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then Guerrero then hit a seated senton off the top to Guerrero onto the floor, to Mysterio onto the floor, right?
Yep.
Or no, wait, no. No, it was Mysterio who hit that move. I think it was Guerrero. Actually, no, Guerrero did hit that. I think it was botched, though. But Mysterio then climbed up the ladder and Guerrero went after him. And then Guerrero got his hand on the briefcase, but Mysterio punched him down. Oh yeah, this is what I was referring to. Guerrero did a sunset flip powerbomb off the ladder, but it's kind of botched considering he didn't hang on to Ray during the landing, so Ray had to just fall on his own free will. You notice that too?
Yeah, well, he kind of slipped.
Yeah.
So
to be fair to
Ray
both,
had to kind of do a follow-up on that, because technically it was supposed to be a sunset bomb, but kind of got fucked up a little bit.
To be fair to both legends here, freaking that is kind of a tough move to pull off on a ladder, especially when botches or slipping could be happening. You're right.
Yeah. Well, later in the match, Ray does the same fucking thing.
Yeah, so at least both men are okay despite that botch. At that point. Right.
Yep.
Guerrero then hit Mysterio in the ribs with the ladder, and then he dove And then he drove the ladder against Mysterio against the turnbuckle.
Yep.
I'm pretty sure the ladder was probably whatever. And then he drove Mysterio into it. And then Guerrero then brought another ladder into the ring.
Sandwiched Ray.
And then Guerrero then drop kicked the ladder onto Ray against the turnbuckle, sandwiching him in the process. Right?
Yep.
Like you said. Then Guerrero then slammed Mysterio onto the ladder. Easy to do. I mean, shit. Rey Mysterio is a small man. Of course, he's going to take a lot of punishment in these ladder matches. Right?
Yeah.
And then Guerrero then put another ladder on Mysterio. Then Guerrero jumped over the top rope with a senton splash onto the two ladders, sandwiching Rey there like that.
Yep.
He made a Rey Mysterio ladder sandwich.
Yep.
With Mysterio as a freaking filling. Right.
See.
I bet that's one.
He made a Mexican Oreo.
I bet that's one sandwich Mysterio doesn't want ever again.
He was a Mexican Oreo.
Yep. And then Guerrero then set up the ladder again. Then, of course, Mysterio then tried to recover, got another ladder, bridged it, and climbed up that ladder. And then right at the top of the ladder, he gave Guerrero a back body drop off of the big ladder onto the bridge ladder. Then Mysterio crashed into that ladder, too. That looked nasty.
Yeah.
Then that was a little bit botched, too. But, these ladder matches are dangerous. You don't know what could happen with high-flying spots off them.
Yep.
Yeah, and then, despite the pain Mysterio was in, he tried to set up a ladder, climbing up in it again. So Guerrero did, but Mysterio then drop kicked it and knocked it down. Right? And during this whole action, I get the story they're trying to tell, but I was just trying to focus on the carnage in the ring, but they kept patting it back to Dominic in the crowd for his reactions to this.
Yeah.
Which took away from the match a little bit for me, but, I understand the story they were telling with this one. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then Guerrero set up a ladder against the turnbuckle and sent Ray sternum first into it. Right? That looked like it hurt.
Yep.
Of course, then again, you try being whipped into a ladder. I don't think you would be feeling pretty good either.
Neither would you.
Exactly. Then Guerrero set up a ladder. Then Guerrero then set up another ladder under the ring while Mysterio was writhing in pain. And then freaking Guerrero was slowly climbing up the ladder, right, to grab the briefcase. Right?
Yep. And Dominic shows up.
And Dominic shows up and he tried to push the ladder down with Guerrero on top of it. Now, had Dominic doing that today, he would be able to knock someone off of a ladder, but at 8 years old, he ain't going to do that.
Yeah.
So Guerrero freaking just looked at him. Of course, Dominic Mysterio got a huge ovation for even trying to do that. It'll be the biggest pop he'll ever get in his life, so he might as well savor it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Unlike nowadays where he's booed out of the building, am I right?
Boy, he's not even booed out of the building. He's booed before he even talks.
Exactly. But then Guerrero then freaking just climbed back down the ladder to yell at Dominic for shaking the ladder, saying you could have hurt me. Right?
And you're gonna respect me. I'm gonna make you respect me.
And then right in the corner, Guerrero freaking teased like he was gonna hit Dominic, but Ray made the save and hit a back body drop on the freaking Guerrero while Mysterio freaking left and went back to his seat at ringside.
Yeah.
Which, at this point, Michael Cole and commentator was like, yeah, that's good. you know what I mean?
Well, the only thing I can agree with Michael Cole for this is that he also said, his 3 boys he adopted. Even though he's not the biological father, he still loves his 3 kids.
It's like, yep. then Ray
That is the only time you'll ever hear me say something good about Michael Cole.
Besides the fact that he's your boy and you love his orange singlet.
No, I know. No, that is you. You want to have his orange singlet and his spicy boiled meat stick, don't you?
No, that's you.
No, that's you.
And speaking of meat stick, obviously, when they specifically told Michael Cole the word Slim Jims like that, you knew what they were doing. Everyone knows what they were doing.
Yes.
Anyway, that's off topic. Now back onto this part bit here. It's like Ray whipped Guerrero into the ladder, and then Mysterio then hit a 619 onto a ladder into Guerrero. Right?
Yep.
And then Mysterio then hit a leg drop off the top of the ladder onto Eddie that was down on the mat. Pretty much jumped off the ladder and hit a leg drop on Guerrero here. Right? And then and then Ray then climbed up the ladder, but Guerrero went after him. And then freaking Eddie had Ray on his shoulders, but Ray slipped out and hit a power bomb off the top of a ladder.
Yeah, he hit the sunset power bomb that Eddie was gonna do, but kind of fucked up when he slipped on Ray's legs when he was going down.
Yeah, and then obviously, and then after that awesome maneuver there, which takes timing from both men, to be honest, to pull off.
Yeah.
It's like Mysterio climbed up the ladder, or Ray climbed up the ladder. Ray got his hands on the hooks that were holding the briefcase in place, like he was going to unhook it, or the hook, right? Mechanism to pull down retrieve the item up there. Then Guerrero freaking kicked away the ladder, and Ray fell into Guerrero's arms for a stiff power bomb by Guerrero. Right.
Which Michael Cole called it a spine buster.
No, it was a power bomb. Everyone knows that.
Yeah, but he said it was a spine buster, and Taz is like, no, that was a power bomb.
Yes. Yeah, and then freaking Guerrero was... Yeah, and then afterwards, Eddie Guerrero was slowly climbing up the ladder. He got up to the briefcase, but, was acting like he was unable to unhook it, right?
Yeah.
And after what felt like an uncomfortably good amount of time, Mysterio then shoved the ladder out of the way, so Guerrero was hanging off of it. So yeah, Eddie was just dangling there with the briefcase until he just crashed off the mat, right? And this is
Ray had grabbed his leg.
Yes. And this is the part that was edited off of Peacock. We didn't see this. We just seen the next part of this match afterwards. But apparently that wasn't supposed to go down, because when Eddie was down at the mat, he pounded his fist on the mat, just yelling out something, which apparently was later revealed was Eddie yelling, "Where the fuck was Vicky?" I guess that was her cue to come down and actually toss Guerrero or move the ladder out from under Guerrero.
Yeah.
And that's why there was an uncomfortable amount of time of stalling.
Yeah.
So obviously they edited out of the network and Peacock. I just felt like I had to note that in here.
Well, at that point, Vicky even said that she had to run to the bathroom real quick before she could get out there.
Yeah, that's
so she kind of missed her cue for a little bit and then came out later.
Yeah. Yeah, but then despite that, Guerrero did take control back with the 3 amigos, with the third one being a suplex that sent Mysterio back first into the ladder.
Yeah, I'm like, got hurt.
And I'm just like, I don't know if that spot was improvised or not because of, the whole Vicky Guerrero thing incident.
Well, the thing is that Eddie put the ladder there, which he was intentionally going to hit all three amigos on it, but he's like, no, I'm gonna hit two amigos regular and then do the third one on the ladder.
Yeah. And then Guerrero then freaking put the ladder back up and did the slow climb again up the ladder. And
he put the ladder across Rey Mysterio's body to
do it, right?
Stop him from going up.
And when Eddie started climbing the ladder slowly, that's when Vicky Guerrero came out finally to confront Eddie, her husband.
That's when Rey Mysterio was knocking around the ladder and pushed him off.
Of course,
and after that, it was when Vicky came.
Yeah, but whatever. Eddie Guerrero was on the top of the ladder. Vicky yelled at him to stop. Vicky shoved the ladder, and then Eddie was knocked down, crashing into the ropes. Right? And then freaking Mysterio had the advantage. He freaking set up the ladder and climbed up again, and then when Eddie got back, Vicky actually held Eddie and pulled him away, thus letting Rey Mysterio to grab the briefcase and win the match.
Yep.
So yeah, it's a tale tragic as time. The deadbeat got custody.
Fuck you.
I'm just messing around here. But anyway. I'm just messing around here, but anyway, Rey Mysterio won the match and custody of Dominic. Afterwards, Rey celebrated with his son in the ring. Your thoughts on this ladder match between Guerrero and Mysterio?
It was good.
To me, it was the best match of the night at this point. Despite the stipulation being the weirdest they ever had with them fighting over the custody of a child.
Yeah. That's one thing I'd take for 500, Alex.
I don't know which match was weirder. A ladder match for the custody of a child or that Viagra on a pole match. They're both up there. Anyway, I thought the match was alright. I thought the match was good and told the story that I needed to tell, and it was the best match of the show up to this point. Right?
Yeah.
Because to me, the first two matches we talked about from the show were kind of duds.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then, but yeah, as we know, this was the final pay-per-view match between Guerrero and Mysterio. Guerrero would actually defeat Rey Mysterio in a steel cage match the following month on SmackDown, ending the feud definitely, and that's when Guerrero would go into that feud with Batista that we talked about a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
Which ultimately gave us Eddie Guerrero's final pay-per-view appearance at the 2005 No Mercy during the main event.
Yes.
Yeah. But yeah. I mean, one of these days we'll have to do a whole career retrospective on Guerrero for a Superstar Talk one of these days, but, until then, that's the whole story of what we know.
Yeah.
Until we go into further detail about it. Backstage, after the match backstage, Chuck Grisham was interviewing Chris Jericho. Jericho talking about his match with the WWE Champion, John Cena. Jericho said that the time was now for Jericho to be WWE Champion. And then Jericho mocked Cena's Chain Gang fans and say that they will discard him easily. And of course, Jericho then reminded everyone that he was the one who beat The Rock and Steve Austin the same night to become undisputed champion. Oh my God, were you tired of hearing that back then? And just think, we still got to review Vengeance 2001 when that happened.
Yeah.
We'll do that one of these days. And then Jericho said that Austin and Rock were all legendary figures and Hall of Famers like him, which at the time neither three were in the Hall of Fame, and as far as I know, as of today, only Austin out of the three is in the Hall of Fame right now. Right?
What?
Out of Rock, Austin, and Jericho. Believe it or not, The Rock's not in the Hall of Fame yet, but he will be You'll be easily headliner. And
well, his dad and his grandpa are.
And Jericho himself, he's still winding down his career. I'm pretty sure when he's ready to be put in the Hall of Fame, he'll agree to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then Jericho then talked about how when he beats John Cena and wins the WWE title, the true Jerichoholics will finally have a champion that they can all be proud of. In that promo. Yeah. Then we go on to your favorite match of the night of this show. Yeah, and that was freaking Kurt Angle taking on Eugene with Christy Hemme in his corner for Kurt Angle's gold medal that Eugene was in the possession of.
Yeah, because he won it in the Angle Invitational.
Yeah, a few weeks prior to this.
Yep.
I don't care how you feel about the Eugene character. I mean, from back then, you can like him, you could hate him. You could say he was an alright character, comedy character. You could say he was a waste of time on the screen. That guy was over, but obviously that's a gimmick that they would never fly today.
Yes, they could.
No. Because you know the kind of character they were implying Eugene to be.
Yeah.
And that ain't no knock on Nick Dinsmore. He was one who came up with the Eugene character, and that guy can actually wrestle, and he trained a few wrestlers today that are around today, so credit to him.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And of course, Eugene made his entrance with Christy Hemme, was doing some kind of cheerleader routine on the way to the ring. And then Kurt Angle came out, obviously serious, and unlike the Kurt Angle Invitational, this was a no time limit, falls, submissions, all the way to end the match. Unlike the Kurt Angle Invitational, which were only 3-minute rounds apiece.
Yep.
So that should obviously tell you that Angle was going to win right here, but we'll talk about this match. As soon as Angle got into the ring, he decked Eugene with a punch to start off this match. And then Angle then slammed Eugene down. As JR pointed out, that Angle hasn't lost a singles match at WrestleMania.
So at SummerSlam.
Or at SummerSlam, I should say. Sorry. Wrong event. Wrong event. My mind's still stuck on WrestleMania from last week that we reviewed. Apparently, right? Then Angle then hit Eugene back-to-back with clotheslines. Of course, Eugene did try to fight back with a spine buster, which, to my surprise, led to people booing the hell out of him, despite Eugene being the face here. Yeah. Eugene went for a people's elbow, mocking The Rock, but Angle got back up and hit a clothesline to cheers, despite being the heel.
Yeah.
That shows exactly what you need to know what these fans thought of Eugene's character back then.
They thought it was shit.
Yes. Even the fans were chanting, "Let's go, Angle," which then Angle responded by hitting 2 German suplexes on Eugene. And then Eugene tried to fight back, but fans didn't have it. But Angle then hit another German suplex that got a 2 count. Eugene at this point should have just called mercy and stayed down, knowing the crowd was going sour at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah, then Angle sent Eugene head first into the turnbuckle. But then Eugene was hulking up, which we will be seeing later on. Right?
Yes.
So he hit Angle with a rock bottom for a 2 count. Of course, then Angle battled back. He went for the Angle slam, but Eugene stepped out of it. And Eugene tried to hit a stunner, but... Actually, no, Eugene hit a Stone Cold Stunner for a 2 count. And of course, Eugene pulled down his imaginary straps and put Angle in his own ankle lock. Right? But
Yep.
Angle countered it, sending Eugene into the turnbuckle, and then Angle then actually hit an Angle slam on a Eugene, and then Angle then freaking pulled down his straps down and actually applied the Angle lock on Eugene, and forced Eugene to tap out.
Yep.
The winner of the match by submission was Kurt Angle here. And after the match, Angle freaking took a chair into the ring, stepped on top of it, and had the referee present him with the gold medal like what was done at the '96 Olympics.
Well, he threw Eugene and Christy Hemme outside the ring.
Your thoughts on this match? Because to me, this was more of another dominant beatdown like we've seen with the Edge Hardy match and the Benoit Jordan match.
It was a so-so.
But yeah, it's like this match won the best Kurt Angle match I've ever seen. Obviously, this wasn't the best Eugene match I've ever seen either. Lord knows there's very few of those.
Yeah.
But yeah, this match was again another glorified squash on this show. Right?
Yep.
And if their goal was to make Angle look like a dominant badass, then I guess their freaking mission was accomplished, but they didn't really need to do that. Everyone knew Angle was a dominant badass to start with.
Yeah.
Of course, the aftermath of this, Angle would be announced the number one contender for the W Championship following this SummerSlam anyway, so either way, Angle was projecting into the main event scene temporarily.
Yeah.
At this point. Oh shit, spoilers. Alright.
Yeah.
Anyway, backstage there was a limo that was being sprayed or washed by the Divas. By the Divas back there being Tori Wilson, Maria, Ashley, Candace, and Stacy Keibler. Spraying down this limousine like car washing it, right?
Yeah.
And on the side of the limo, and I really don't want to fucking imagine this. On the side of the limo, it said President of the United States, and when the freaking goddamn window went down, Vince McMahon revealed himself, and he goes, why not?
It could happen.
And then at the end, and then that whole thing was ended with bumper sticker revealed saying McMahon for president.
Yep.
I don't want to get into this really well, but let's just put it like this. We did have a billionaire as president, but it wasn't Vince McMahon.
We could have had Mr. McMahon as president.
And that's about as far into it as I got. Last week, I think we kind of went over the edge. No pun intended. We kind of went over the edge last week talking about that.
Yep.
But moving swiftly on, and the only reason they freaking did that little skit was because this show took place in DC.
Yeah.
Moving swiftly on from that one. Moving swiftly on, The Undertaker made his entrance for his match against Randy Orton, which was next. Right?
Yep.
And Michael Cole on commentary noted that this was the 14th straight SummerSlam where The Undertaker was having a match. Of course, The Undertaker's SummerSlam record isn't as legendary as the WrestleMania one, but, at least he has longevity in that show, too.
Yeah.
At certain points in his career there. And, of course, Randy Orton then made his entrance. This was back when Orton had that theme song written by Mercy Drive, the one that he hated. The Nothing You Can Say theme song. And of course, this was...
Get out of cat food!
This was Orton's first match with baby since WrestleMania 21. Since that first encounter with The Undertaker, this was a WrestleMania 21 rematch.
Yeah.
And honestly, this would not be the first time we talked about Taker and Orton having one of their battles this month at time of recording.
Yep.
Oh, that's still, and you know the one I want to review probably by next month. So get ready for more Orton versus Taker here on this channel. Yay!
Uh-huh.
So yeah, the match started off with Undertaker shoved Orton down, Undertaker shoved Orton down, followed by a hard slap to the face. Right.
Yeah.
The Undertaker then freaking hit Orton with a shoulder tackle for a 2 count. Then Orton came back with a hip toss clothesline, and Taker then got the advantage again with a boot to the face to Orton. Then the Undertaker then freaking Undertaker then applied the armbar and he went to the top rope for his old school, but Orton took him down with an arm drag for a 2 count, right?
Yeah.
Then Taker was in control, nailing Orton with punches against the turnbuckle. And then Orton then fought out of the corner, but Taker hit another boot to Orton's face for a 2 count and another running big boot.
Yep.
Then the Undertaker ran the ropes and hit a flying clothesline onto Orton. Then freaking Taker freaking dominated Orton with a couple of punches and kicks to Orton as well.
Yep.
And then Taker then charged in with a running kick in the corner, and Orton moved out of the way, and then Taker was crossed against the top rope.
Yep.
So I guess you can say Mark is a dick to his own takers.
Yes.
Then Orton kicked a hamstring to Taker, knocking him down. And then Orton then freaking hit a DDT for a 2 count as Taker got his left leg on the bottom rope, right? Thus making the pin invalid. Rope break,
Yep.
right? Then Orton jumped into a leg. Then Orton started to work on the left leg by jumping onto it with Taker across the bottom rope. With Taker on the bottom rope, working on the leg, yeah. Then Orton then whipped the left knee against Taker the ring post, right? He was just working on Taker's legs at this point.
Yep.
Because you gotta think, that's kind of smart. When dealing with the Undertaker, you want to take out his knees, you want to take out his legs, you want to make that body part weak. Because with his legs injured or weakened, he can't tombstone you or last ride you. He needs his legs for that, strength for that. Yes, that's pretty smart, right?
Or choke slam you.
Or choke slam. All that involves him being up on his legs, 2 feet. Then Orton then hit a running knee drop on the Taker and got a 2 count. Followed by a boot to the face for 2 for Orton. For a 2 count for another 2 count for Orton. And then the Undertaker and Randy Orton went back and forth where Taker ran the ropes right into the power slam for Orton. Right?
Yeah.
And then Undertaker reversed a leg lock that Orton had on, sending Orton's leg into the mat, making him weaken down. Then Orton ran the ropes and then hit a shoulder tackle to the left leg of Taker, put him down. This was pretty much all both men were focused on each other's legs here, specifically Orton and focused on Taker's legs, yeah.
Yeah.
Then Orton slapped on another leg lock submission, which we know the Undertaker ain't gonna tap out. Then Orton jumped into the leg of Taker again, but onto the leg of Taker, but Taker managed to kick Orton over the top rope to the floor. I don't think the fans were really into it at this point because it was just mostly wear down holds and freaking wearing the opponent down and all that stuff with holds, submissions, all that stuff. They just wanted to see brawling and violence.
Yeah.
So it's when they went over the top rope, that's when the people were starting to get invested into this more. And then freaking Taker draped Orton over the freaking dang ring apron and hit his freaking leg drop, his signature leg drop across the throat of Orton onto the apron.
Yeah.
And then back in the ring, Orton, and then freaking Orton did back in the ring, Taker hit an old school onto Orton. Finally, right?
Yeah.
Then Taker then hit a flatliner for a 2 count. Yeah, and then freaking Taker then Taker then hit Snake Eyes into Orton. But then Orton came back with a drop kick on the rebound when Taker was going for that big boot following that.
Yeah.
Now with Orton in control, Orton was measuring up Taker for an RKO, but Taker shoved him off, and then Taker then went for a tombstone, but Orton reversed it. Yeah, Orton reversed it. Taker set up, but Orton slipped out, and Orton then hit a modified backbreaker for a 2 count. Right?
Yep.
So at this point, Orton was in control. Orton went to the top rope and jumped off with a cross body block, but Taker rolled through, and then Taker rolled through the move, and then Taker then hit a choke slam onto Orton.
Yeah.
And then near the end of the match, there was this fan that entered the ring, distracting the referees and everybody, and Taker himself, right when he was going for a tombstone, perhaps, to end the match, right? And then Taker then shoved the guy down off the apron. And then this fan fell with the security, and then Taker then picked up Orton, picked up Orton off the match, which that distraction gave Orton enough time to recover to hit an RKO onto Taker and actually cover Taker for the pinfall win. And of course, after the match, this fan at the entrance ramp was revealed to be Cowboy Bob Orton.
Yes.
Distracting the Undertaker once again and costing Taker the victory.
Which pissed Taker off.
And Taker, pissed off with a vengeance, actually went charging to the back after the Ortons. Yep. Which ultimately would set up their casket match and would ultimately set up that Hell in a Cell match.
Yep.
But your thoughts on this SummerSlam match between Randy Orton and The Undertaker here?
It was good. Was it their best? No.
Me personally, out of the 2 matches that they had at this point, not counting the No Mercy or the Armageddon one that would come later on after this, the WrestleMania 21 match was the better match. Compared to the SummerSlam 05 match. That's just my opinion, though. Other people can think differently.
Yeah.
But, for what it was, knowing what would happen later on down the line, the bigger storyline picture arc here, I would say it was an alright match setting all that up. What would be to come later on as the months progressed.
Yeah.
Was it The Undertaker's best match? No. Was it Orton's best match? No. But, it wasn't a shitty bad match either. It was kind of there to be there. In my opinion.
Yeah.
And that's not a knock on both those legendary performers either.
Nope.
Anyway, following that, the video package aired, hyping the WWE Championship matchup between Jericho and Taker. Or not Taker, Jericho and Cena. Jesus Christ. I can't think for shit today, apparently. That's when you should give me the burn saying, well, you never do.
Well, yeah, you never do, but what else is new?
But anyway, this whole rivalry started when Cena was the first draft lottery pick from SmackDown to Raw. Eric Bischoff tried to make life difficult for Cena when Cena refused to be Eric Bischoff's puppet, leading to Jericho freaking turning heel and actually feuding with Cena over the WWE Championship here.
Yep.
So yeah, Jericho was shown walking backstage right before Jericho's entrance. And then Bischoff was there to wish Jericho good luck. And then Jericho made his entrance, obviously, to a standing boovation.
Yeah.
And then Cena came out. He was obviously cheered by everybody. I mean, this was before the turning point where the crowd was chanting, Cena sucks.
Yep.
Right. And of course, Cena at this point has left calf taped up, probably selling an injury. Right?
Yeah.
So Cena, the defending champion here against Jericho, the challenger. Right?
Yeah.
And obviously, this would be a longer title match than that opening match on this card. Still gonna take the piss out of that any chance I can.
Yeah.
So the match started with Jericho hitting a running clothesline against the turnbuckle, followed by a suplex. Yeah, and then Jericho then hit a spinning heel kick to Cena, and then this was like early on in the match. Then Jericho then went for a drop kick with Cena on the apron. But Cena moved and Cena went crashing to the floor. Right.
Yeah.
Then Cena took control back in the ring with some punches, but Jericho freaking came back with a drop kick. Oh, on a charging Cena. They were really telling the story about how Jericho was a veteran and Cena was really not that experienced like Jericho at this point.
Yeah.
Despite Cena at this point having at least 5 years of experience working there and being the main eventer top guy at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then Jericho remained in control with a suplex, drop kick, and gouging Cena's eyes. You know, the whole heel trope that they have.
Yeah.
And there was a whip into the ropes, and then Jericho then dumped Cena out of the ring. And then Jericho then freaking hit Cena with a drop kick off of the apron onto the floor. And then Jericho then choked Cena with a cord of the camera. And the referee was like, hey, you got to disqualify, you can't use that, right?
Yeah.
And then back in the ring, Jericho set Cena up for a superplex from the top rope, but he connected it. And he connected it, landed it, and then and then Jericho rolled onto Cena for a 2 count. Right?
Yeah.
Of course, Cena then battled back with a back body drop and 2 clotheslines. Cena then missed a shoulder tackle attempt when Jericho ducked and moved out of the way. Right? Then Jericho then hit Cena with a running bulldog. And Jericho at this point was in control, but only temporarily because Jericho freaking tried to hit a moonsault, but failed because Cena moved out of the way. But then Jericho out of the smaller tried to be like, that's it, I'm gonna put you in the walls of Jericho, but Cena countered out of it by kicking Jericho out of the ring. Right?
Yep.
Pretty much showing that he can outmaneuver the veteran here.
Yep.
Then Jericho came back in, and then Cena then hit a leg drop to the back of Jericho's head for a 2 count, one of his trademarks. And then Cena then went for an FU back, also known as the Attitude Adjustment, but back then the move was called the FU, but Jericho countered it into a DDT for a 2 count. Right?
Yeah.
And at this point, freaking the crowd were chanting, "Let's go Cena," and the other half was chanting, "Let's go Jericho," so it kind of began with the crowd rejecting Cena.
Yeah.
Of course, then Jericho then freaking stayed in control by kicking Jericho in the back, followed by a backbreaker. Or kicking Cena in the back, followed by a backbreaker. Yeah, and then Jericho then continued to work over the back of Cena, waking him up for that Walls of Jericho, which focuses on the pressure on the back, lower back here.
Yeah.
Then Jericho ran the ropes, but then Cena came back with a running clothesline. And then Cena then hit 2 clotheslines, followed by a hip toss and the spinning slam that Cena was known for.
Yeah.
And then Cena then attempted to do the 5-knuckle shuffle, but Jericho popped up and slapped. But Jericho popped up and then applied the Walls of Jericho submission onto Cena.
Yep.
And then freaking The fans were actually cheering. They wanted to see Jericho win, but that wasn't going to happen. Despite Jericho pulling Cena to the center of the ring, right? But then Jericho, but despite that, despite being in immense pain, Cena managed to crawl his way to the bottom rope to break the hold. And that's when some of the fans started booing him. So I think this was the point where Cena was starting to get rejected, which would follow him for the rest of his career at this point. Of course, then Cena battled back and he tried an FU off the metal ropes, but Jericho countered into a belly-to-back suplex for another 2 count. All right.
Yep.
And Jericho charged in, and then Cena caught him as if he was going to give him a backbreaker, and then spun Jericho up on his shoulders and connected with the FU for the 3 count and to retain the WWE Championship. Your thoughts on this match?
That was good. It was interesting to see John Cena versus Jericho. Was it their greatest match? No. Did they have better? Yes.
Yeah. So Cena was the champion here, retains the title here, so...
But I like the fact that he said, I'd never be with Eric Bischoff. Yeah, in the end, he turned out to be with Eric Bischoff.
Yep. And of course Jericho would get a rematch against Cena the following night on Raw, which Jericho also lost. Of course, the stipulation for that match was the loser had to leave Raw, which Jericho lost that match, and that was done because Jericho's contract with the WWE was expiring at this point, and he chose not to re-sign with the company.
Yeah.
And Jericho would take a little over 2 years off to go tour with his band Fozzy before re-signing with WWE in 2007.
Well, the reason why he didn't re-sign was because he had already signed for a world tour with his band at the time.
Yeah. Yeah, and Jericho would not be seen on WWE television until November 2007, where like a little over 2 years later. After
he would face Orton.
Yes. Yeah.
Well, interrupt Orton's crowning ceremony of passing the torch or whatever.
Yeah.
And Jericho literally just because he was doing the Jericho sign things that little teaser things.
Yeah. But anyway, I thought the match was alright for what it was here at this SummerSlam. It was good. Not the best match I've seen Cena or Jericho have, but it was serviceable enough.
Like I said, was it their best match? No. Did they have greater? Yes.
Yep. So, yeah. And obviously after the Jericho was fired from WWE or Raw or whatever, Kurt Angle was announced the number 1 contender, and that's who Cena would feud with pretty much for the remainder of 2005.
Yep.
Over on the Raw brand.
Yep.
Anyway, next thing they aired was the video package for the Batista JBL World Heavyweight title match. And this all came about after their last feud match at the Great American Bash ended with Batista getting disqualified, thus retaining the championship in the process. And pretty much JBL suggested they have a no-holds-barred match for the world title, which Batista agreed to.
Well, Batista said, I'll be generous and let you choose the match so you can't complain about it.
When you lose. Right?
Yes.
Yeah, and then JBL made his entrance in his limo as usual that he did at the time. Of course, $100 bills with JBL's face for running down in the audience, and Taz noted, they're worthless. Just like the guy himself. But, right?
That's because they had, in JBL we trust.
And of course, Batista, the defending world champion at this point, came out to a big standing ovation because we were in Batista's hometown of Washington, D.C.
Yes.
So yeah, it was obvious who the crowd were 100% behind here.
Yeah. The match never started in the ring. It started outside the ring like the other matches did.
Yeah, but like we said, the match got underway when Batista, during his entrance, did his pose on the alleyway, but JBL went after him. And Batista was ready for him, and he hit JBL in the head with a championship. Right?
Yep.
Then they brawled all over the entrance area, and then Batista then hit JBL in the back with a fire extinguisher. And yeah, this was no holds barred, so it was all legal.
Yeah.
And then JBL came back. JBL freaking came back, fought back by whipping Batista into the equipment case out there.
Yep.
And then they went brawling towards the ringside area where JBL hit Batista with a chair to the throat. Right? That looked nasty.
Yep.
Yeah, and then Batista then fought back with a spear that broke the barricade at ringside. So, yeah, they were fighting in the crowd, and then Batista then hit the spear on JBL, which broke the barricade into the ringside area.
A steel wall.
Yeah, right into the ringside area. Usually we see that spot, but in reverse.
Yes.
Usually the wrestlers get speared into the barricade into the crowd, but this is the first time and the only time I believe they've done it backwards, in reverse order. Right?
Yeah.
Of course, then JBL then took over the contest by shoving Batista into the steel ring post, putting Batista down. Then JBL then hit Batista with a short clothesline, followed by punches.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then JBL had a clever idea, so he took the belt off the timekeeper at ringside and hit Batista in the back 3 times with the belt. Right?
Yep.
And then JBL then choked Batista with the belt around his neck as well. Around Batista's neck as well, choking him out, but Batista then fought out of it with a belly-to-back suplex.
Yeah.
Then Batista got revenge for that leather belt. Got his revenge with the belt by hitting JBL on the back with it 6 times. Pretty much double the amount of times that JBL hit Batista with it.
Yeah.
And then freaking Batista then hit shoulder tackles of JBL on the ribs. Of course, JBL did fight back when he got a boot to the face. And JBL hit a clothesline from hell only for a long good 2 count.
Yep.
And at this point, I bet JBL was frustrated because usually the clothesline from hell works. Right?
Yep.
And of course, JBL thought it was a good idea to go back to the outside and bring the top half of the steel steps into the ring, which is what he probably did. And then JBL had prop Batista up on the steel steps along with himself, and it looked like JBL was planning to do a powerbomb onto Batista onto the steel steps.
Yeah.
But Batista hit a back body drop counter, and then onto JBL, and then JBL then ran into a spine buster from Batista. And of course, Batista did the thumbs up and thumbs down signal. The Batista then hit a Batista bomb on a JBL, but usually Batista would follow that one up with a cover for a 3 count. But in this case, Batista was like, nope, not going to make the cover. And then Batista then looked at the steel steps and thought about it for a second. Then he got an angry, pissed off look on his face.
Then he got hit with a clothesline from hell.
It's like, nope. And then JBL then picked up already prone out JBL and power bombed JBL onto the steel steps. Spine first. Landed JBL and Batista pinned JBL on the steel steps to win and retain the world title.
Yep.
Your thoughts on this match?
It was okay. Was it their greatest match? No. Did they have better? Yes.
Was the crowd 100% behind Batista here? Yes. So yeah, I thought it was an alright match for what it was. Not the greatest world title match I've ever seen, but it felt like at this point probably like on par with the ladder match at this point. Because hey, it's not the greatest, but work with what you're given here.
Yeah.
So I say it's a great. If I think it's a great match here on this show, then it was a great match here. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and it was kind of funny at the end. Batista picked up one of JBL's freaking $100 bills with a face on it and ripped it up.
Yeah.
Pretty much symbolizing to everyone that feud was over, which it was, because after this event, Batista would be in that feud with Eddie Guerrero that we already covered a few weeks ago.
Yep.
And now we get to the main event, brother. But first, they showed the video package between Hulk Hogan and Shawn Michaels, brother, that led up to this match, brother.
See, brother.
And it all started when Shawn Michaels and Hulk Hogan started teaming up with each other. Right?
Brother.
Where they would and their first outing as a team was really at Backlash 2005, brother, when they defeated Muhammad Hassan and Daivari, brother.
Yes.
And then on July 4, 2005 edition of Raw, brother, they defeated Kurt Angle and Carlito. But after the match, friggin' that no-good backstabber Shawn Michaels super kicked the hell out of Hogan, brother.
Well, Hogan should have kind of figured that out. Look at what he did to Marty Jannetty when they were tag teaming at the end.
Yes.
He super kicked through a fucking barber window.
Yes. And that led up to Shawn Michaels challenging Hulk Hogan to this one-on-one match, brother. Icon versus Legend, brother. Legend versus brother.
Stop.
And obviously there was that one freaking imitation that Shawn Michaels did of Hulk Hogan on Larry King, brother. Fuck this.
Brother.
God damn it, now you're doing it.
Brother.
And of course, not only was a Larry King freaking goddamn Larry King parody by Shawn Michaels' brother freaking a memorable one, brother, but a lot of fans, including myself, remember what happened on the Raw before this SummerSlam when Raw was in Montreal, when Shawn Michaels came out and pretty much trolled the fans by playing Bret Hart's music, acting like he was freaking like, scared or whatnot, only to be like, laughing about and saying, "Who's your daddy, Montreal?"
Yeah.
Remember that promo Shawn Michaels cut, brother?
Yep.
Now, this was actually pretty good. This was, I believe, the only time Shawn Michaels was heel during his second run with the company after his back injury. And boy, was it memorable. Even if we only got heel Michaels in 2005 for a month. Right?
Oh, yeah. Well, he wanted to face Hogan anyways.
Anyway, Shawn Michaels.
And Hogan literally said, if you just wanted to have a match, he should have asked. But no, you had to super kick me in the face.
And of course, this match we're about to talk about often gets referred to as Hogan versus Octopus. And we will discuss why, brother.
See, brother.
It's like Shawn Michaels made his entrance first to a loud reaction, brother. Since even though he was a heel, brother, people still respected him, brother.
Stop.
Then Hulk Hogan got a thunderous ovation when he came out to the ring, brother. And then freaking a giant American flag draped over the entranceway, brother. And
well, the thing is, he came out to "I'm a real American" theme, and then right when that hit, when he was coming out after he passed the entrance, the American flag was drawn.
Yes,
brother.
And yes, by the time freaking Hogan finally made it out the ring, he was 102 years old, brother. Okay, I'm gonna stop with that shit. That's getting annoying,
brother.
God damn it. I swear to God, man, if someone had to take a shot for every time we used brother right here in this short period of time, they'd be going to the hospital.
Brother!
Would you stop saying that, okay?
Brother!
Anyway, the match started with Hogan shoving Michaels down 3 times.
He became fish. Brother!
Yeah, and then Hogan freaking hit a shoulder block on Michaels, which Michaels ridiculously sailed by bumping out of the ring. And so that should tell you all you need to know. Michaels was going to take the piss out of this one.
He was taking the piss out of it anyways, brother.
Would you knock it off, brother?
Brother.
Quit saying brother.
Brother.
I'm trying to do this review, brother.
You already knew I was going to take the piss out of you. You taking a piss out of this, so there.
Just like Michaels took the piss out of this match. Right?
Well, Michaels wasn't really taking it seriously to begin with.
Of course, Michaels then got back in the ring and worked over Hogan with hard chops to the chest. Yeah, then Hogan whipped Michaels into the turnbuckle, and Hogan punted Michaels over the top rope, leading to some more overselling by Michaels. Or should we say the octopus. Right? Swear to God, Michaels was selling every move like an octopus in the damn dryer. At this point.
Yeah.
Right. And then Hogan sent Michaels into the top turnbuckle, followed by another overreact bump by Michaels. Right. Like ridiculous. Of course, Michaels took control by nailing the thumb to the eye on Hogan. Of course, that didn't really freaking dang do much because Hogan then was able to connect a back body drop to Michaels anyway. Then Hogan went for a clothesline that sent Michaels out of the ring, which Michaels oversold again, like seriously, like he was a flopping fish out of water. Right?
He was Michael Fishman.
You knew Michael was taking a piss out of this one, brother.
Yes, brother.
I mean, hell, let's talk about that bump. Michaels was bumping over the top rope so ridiculous that he actually did a flip on the floor, landing on the floor that way instead of how he was supposed to do it.
Yeah.
I'm like, Jesus Christ, this is what happens. I heard of overselling by The Rock doing a stunner, but this was ridiculous. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then Hogan then ducked his head after a whip into the ropes, and Michaels kicked him in the chest. Right?
Yep.
Michaels then slapped Hogan in the face 2 times, and then Michaels sent Hogan into the turnbuckle.
Well, he spit at him too.
And he spat at him too, and then Michaels then was punched out of the ring by Hogan. And then they battled on the floor, and then on the outside of the battle floor with Hogan slamming Michaels onto the Spanish announce table. Didn't even break for once, so the Spanish announce table fought back. Right?
Yeah.
So Michaels was pretty much forced to just move out of that table out of the way so we can get out of the commentary area. Then Hogan then whipped Michaels face first into the ring post. Right?
Yep.
Yeah, then Hogan then picked up Michaels, and then Michaels then reversed whatever move. I think Hogan was going to try to hit Michaels' head first in the turnbuckle, but Michaels reversed it and shoved Hogan into that ring post instead.
Yeah.
Yeah, then Michaels then sent Hogan into another ring post. Then Michaels then punched Hogan in the head several times, trying to bust him open hard way, which which he did. Yeah, and then the ref pulled Michaels off of Hogan, and Hogan was busted open. At this point, Hogan was bleeding everywhere. Right?
Yeah.
It's like the blood of Hulkamania was pouring everywhere, brother.
And then he was hulking him up, brother.
Yep. And the intensity picked up where Michaels was going after the cut on Hogan's forehead. Then Michaels then even put on a sleeper hold to wear Hogan down. Right?
Brother.
As Hogan's blood was dripping all over freaking Michaels' arm at this point. Brother. This was starting to look more like a horror movie, brother.
Brother.
Yeah, and then it was during this time too where the referee was checking on Hogan's arm, which dropped twice up until the third one. Then Hogan freaking got out of it and hit a belly to back suplex on Michaels. Right?
Yep.
To break the hold. Then Michaels then came back in control with a running forearm to the face. And then Michaels went up to the top, and Michaels tried to do his signature elbow drop, but Hogan moved. And then Hogan was hulking up, and he did the finger point. Right?
Yeah.
Signature, meaning, oh, yeah, you're done, brother. Brother.
Well, he poked him in the eye with it.
And then Hogan hit 3 punches and then went for the boot to the face, but Michaels hit a forearm on Hogan. And Michaels hit the referee, knocking the referee out of the ring. Then Michaels slapped and then Michaels then locked the sharpshooter onto Hogan. Right?
Yep.
And then another referee, Chad Patton, went to the ring and then rang the bell. It was another screw job. No, I'm just kidding. That's not how this match ended. Can you imagine if that's exactly how it ended? How bullshit would that been?
It would have been bullshit beyond bullshit.
Knowing that the same thing would have happened again.
Yes.
But no, that didn't happen. Hogan, after eventually got his hand on the bottom rope to break up the hold.
Yep.
Of course, Hogan then battled back, and Hogan kicked Michaels. And then Michaels then bumped into the referee, knocking him down as well. There was no ref again, and then Michaels then hit a low blow. So, yeah, Michaels was a dick to Hulk Hogan's. Right?
Yeah.
And then Michaels brought a chair into the ring and nailed Hogan in the head with it. Right? Sounded like a gun going off. Then Michaels went up to the top and connected the flying elbow drop that Michaels is known for doing, one of his signature moves. And then Michaels then woke up the referee, Chad Patton, and then Hogan stumbled to his feet, all dazed, confused, hurt, and then Michaels actually connected with a sweet chin music super kick. And then Michaels went for the cover, and then the referee counted 1, he counted 2, but Hogan powered out at 2. No 3 count for Michaels, no trace.
Yes.
Then Hogan was hulking up, and obviously, at this point, Hogan was no selling anything friggin' Michaels was trying to do at this point.
Yeah.
And then Hogan hit punches to Michaels' face, followed by the big boot, which Michaels oversold by landing, then jumping up, spinning around, and then falling once again. Hogan out there looked dumbfounded at that point, and then Hogan then hit a leg drop and covered Michaels for the pinfall win.
Yep.
So yeah, you could say this match was memorable, but for all the wrong reasons, brother.
Brother.
Of course, after the match, Shawn Michaels and Hulk Hogan actually showed mutual respect by shaking each other's hands. But you know, deep down, Michaels wanted to super kick that asshole one more time. Brother.
Yeah.
Brother. Now, this match was the first time, it was the first time, brother, and the only time, brother, that they would ever face off, brother. Your thoughts on this match, brother?
It was very interesting, brother. We got to see Hulk Hogan again, brother. And him and Shawn Michaels threw on a classic, brother.
So, yeah, of course, after Michaels exited the ring, Hogan did his victory poses to end the show. To make it go off air.
Yep.
Now, here's some true backstory here this match between the reason a lot of people question why Shawn Michaels oversold so damn bad and was acting like a octopus stuck in a goddamn dryer. Well, here's the story that I got. I don't know how true this is. This is what I've been told over the years. Michaels wanted to keep it face versus face since he was also a face at this time. Hogan was the one who protested against it and said no, he wanted the classic heel versus face, which Michaels reluctantly agreed to, even though he didn't want to do it. But what really set Michaels off, because this match was originally supposed to be a best-of-3 series, with Hogan winning the first match. Somewhere down the line, Michaels winning the second match and Hogan getting the win back overall. But Hogan shot that idea down and said, nope, this is a one and done, and I'm going over. And because of that's why Michaels was so pissed off, and that's why he decided to oversell everything and make the match all about himself in protest.
Yeah.
Allegedly, that's the story going around why Michaels was overselling the way he did, taking the piss out of everything Hogan was doing.
Yeah.
But yeah, your thoughts on this match? This match, it's memorable, but for all the wrong reasons.
It was good. I liked it.
So yeah, I thought
was it both of their best matches? No. Well, a little bit yes and a little bit no. Did they have better matches in their career down the line? Yes.
Did they have better matches before this one? Yes.
Yes.
But you know, this one was all right. I mean, it went from being a serious match to a comedy match all because of Michaels' antics, which made it memorable and funny. So I give it that one. Right?
Yeah. I'm not saying it was bad. I'm just saying, was it one of their truly best ones? Yes and no. Did they have better matches down the line that never faced each other? Yes. Did they have better matches when they were in their prime? Yes. But still, it was a good match.
Yep. Now, brother, we go to our favorite, like I always say in these reviews, brother, we go to our favorite part of the freaking, review, brother, our rating systems, brother. I'm going to quit saying brother because that's really getting annoying.
Brother.
Anyway, Chris Benoit defeating Orlando Jordan to become the United States champion. My match rating, 0 out of 5.
I give it a 4 out of 5, brother.
You literally gave a 25-second match a 4 out of 5. What are you, crazy?
Brother.
Whenever the own entertainment's your own, I guess. I just gave it 0 out of 5, not because of who was in it, because the match was short and lame.
Potato, potato, tomato, tomato.
Edge defeating Matt Hardy by knockout. That brawl I gave about. I enjoyed it.
3.5.
Yeah, for what it was.
It wasn't really a match.
I gave that one. I also gave that one 3.5 out of 5. So we're both on the same page there with that one. Rey Mysterio defeating Eddie Guerrero in that ladder match to win the custody of Dirty Dom. I gave that one 4 out of 5.
I give it 4.5.
Kurt Angle defeating Eugene for the Olympic gold medal. 2.5 out of 5.
I'd give it a 3.
Yeah, give it 2.5. Randy Orton defeating Undertaker in that singles match. Yeah, it was near 4 territory, but the interference kind of killed it for me by a little bit, so I gave that one 3 3/4 out of 5.
I give it 3.5.
Yeah, so about the same, give or take. John Cena defeating Chris Jericho to retain the WWE Championship. I gave that one 3 3/4 out of 5.
4.
Fair is fair. Batista defeating JBL in that no-holds-barred match to retain the World Heavyweight
5.
Championship. You gave that one 5 out of 5. I gave it 4 out of 5.
I enjoyed the brutality just a little more than you did.
And, of course, Hulk Hogan defeating Shawn Michaels in that singles match, Legend versus Legend, Icon versus Icon match.
5.
I was going to say 4 out of 5, but Shawn Michaels' overselling actually helped it a bit, in my opinion, so I gave that 4.5 out of 5.
I gave it 5.
So there you go. My personal final grade for SummerSlam 2005 as a total package is a B.
I'd say a high C.
Now, when it comes to matches I would recommend anyone to see from this pay-per-view, if you want, I would recommend the ladder match between Guerrero and Mysterio, and if you want, like, Shawn Michaels' little comedy spoof taking the piss out of Hogan, the main event's the way to go here.
Yeah.
What would you say?
Yep.
You would, yeah, I bet you would agree with that assessment.
Yep.
In the long run, you can go without the other matches on this card.
Yep.
So yeah, that was our thoughts and review of the 2005 SummerSlam. Now, next week it'll be my choice and for the review. And next week I want to review a classic Survivor Series event. So, I'm taking this back. It's like I'm taking it back the timeline a few years. So, and it is another marquee match, main event that Shawn Michaels had. And it was also the first ever Elimination Chamber match. Next week, we are going to be reviewing Survivor Series 2002.
Interesting.
Where we saw the first ever Elimination Chamber match, and of course that one-on-one match between Big Show and Brock Lesnar for the WWE Championship.
Yep.
So yeah, that should be an interesting watch and an interesting review.
Yep.
So until then, we will catch you all later. Peace.
Deuces.